Divine Spirit and gracious Creator, we're all here now to open ourselves up unconditionally to your divine assistance and continued direction. As well as receiving your healing and guidance, we are fully open and ready to receive and notice signs and blessings. We are truly grateful and thank you. Amen. Please settle your minds and focus on your crown chakra. And when you are ready, open it for Spirit to supply you with its source of energy. As it enters your crown chakra, allow it to rebalance all your chakras, starting with the crown chakra, moving on to the brow chakra, down to the throat chakra, and then onto the heart chakra. Continue working its way down to the solar plexus chakra, and then onto the sacral chakra, and down to the root chakra. Allow the spirit energy source to visit all your minor chakras to maximize our potential in this circle. Let the energy settle in your body, and when you are ready, move your focus back to your heart chakra and start linking with all other members of this circle unconditionally. Set your intentions on the task we agreed, please, to maximize our ability to make the links of spirit that we need to achieve. We have come together on the earth plane with the purpose of receiving answers to our questions from our spirit guides and advisors that are happy to link with us. Tonight, I would like to start by introducing members of our circle. My name is Neil, and with me today is Claire, Donna, Adrian, Sharon, and Pam. I would like to welcome all members of the Spirit Circle, and we all thank you for believing in us. As we try to lift our energy levels sufficiently to enable you to bridge and make contact through our mediums, we are focusing and offering you the opportunity to link through us. Please link directly through your choice of medium. And if you are happy to link through another medium at the same time as another soul from Spirit does, please do so. Where possible, we respectfully appreciate confirmation that we have achieved a successful link through either a sense of doing so, or even more grateful to hear the spoken word itself. As we try to lift our energy levels in our own circle, and with the help of our own guides and others in spirit, we do look forward to making the connection to the Spirit Circle. When we have achieved that, could you confirm when you are ready for questions or words to be put to you, please?
wish to speak, don't hold back. Guides are with you. Unconditional love to all from the spirit world. Archangel Raphael.
Imagine a long lost friend has sat beside you and greet them as you would normally. Start by saying hello.
Be brave, everyone. Have the confidence to speak, whether it's a new spirit experiencing the link for the first time, or a medium allowing the spirit to come through. There is nothing at all to be frightened of.
The spirit you have with you is a guide that you know. My name is Ibrahim, and I am glad to join you this evening.
Welcome, Abraham. Have you been with us before?
Yes, Neil. I've
Because
been.
I thought I recognized the name. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And a big thank you back in the Spirit Circle for all the observers that are here to help us observe and enjoy.
We thank you as well. I have brought those in tonight. So if anybody wishes to speak, please do so, even if it's just to greet. There are no training guides in with us tonight that wish to join. They've all been through before. They're all connected to you individually, so please do not be afraid. They're also your closest friends.
Whoever's linking through Claire, there is a problem with her microphone, so I don't know if you can sit up a bit. Or speak louder. Abraham, are you still there?
Yes, we are still here, Neil.
Do you think it's a good idea if I just start off with some questions and we'll see if others can link as we go along?
Yes, that would be fine. Also,
Okay.
even if those that may feel that they can't speak, but may wish that even in their human condition might know the answer to the question, please give your opinions.
Okay, thank you for saying that. Useful. So just to start, Abraham, I don't know whether you've told us before, but I may have forgotten, but have you had a life in a human vessel on the Earth plane or another planet?
Yes.
And can you tell us something? Can you tell us something about one of them that stand out in your memory?
There are many to choose, many different. But I think there was one in a time where we was going through conflict. You would call them the First Crusades.
Okay.
I think this is quite relevant this evening through what's going through the world at the moment. Maybe not in the same context with the religious side of it, but with the conflict.
Yeah.
There is a great deal of turmoil, people very frightened. But what I will share with you is that through all of this, we all came out stronger, even though there was loss, hardship, and pain. On all sides. But lessons were learned, and fortunately over the times go quiet and then it starts again. But I say this to show you that life is eternal. We come and go on the planet as we please, and to others if we wish. Try to relax in your life as much as you can. Don't think too deeply when it is going off the path you might see. Because it will come back and things will be okay again. Concentrate on yourself and do not be trying to compare yourself to others. Your lives are very different with different paths. It is not quite the detail that I normally give you, Neil, but I feel that this is needed at the moment.
I'm sure it is, Abraham. It's very easy to say, just be patient and let things flow, let them develop the way they're probably destined to, but easier said than done sometimes. But what advice would you give us then, leading on from that? What would help motivate us in our current lives, and to deal with what's going on around us?
There are a few different ways. I've dealt with this differently on each occasion. But the message is that if you get it wrong this time, there will always be a chance another time. Not everything is perfect. There is no such thing. Just believe in your inner strength.
Yeah. Is that another way of saying two wrongs can make a right?
In some ways, yes, you could say that, Neil. Not that that
Yeah.
is necessarily the right way, but yes.
Yeah, I like the pun.
I
Yeah,
understand
okay.
how you say that.
Yeah.
Yes, if you get it wrong, you might get it wrong again, but it will become right eventually.
Yeah. And also what that says to me is don't overanalyze everything, take it as an experience and move on.
Yes, many times people analyze, but that word was not used too much in those days.
Yeah.
But it is overused and oversaid as well these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll often hear us say to you if you ask for daily guidance. Some of you do, some of you don't. We might not say don't analyze. We might just say don't overthink, keep calm, let it go.
I think you're reading my question sheet, because the next question was going to be, can overthinking ever be a negative? And it sounds like it can.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be very overwhelming. This is where people tend to fall off the path a little bit. They have too much going on, too many questions, and they're not answering their first question. So you start getting a book of questions, but with no answers in your own head.
Yeah.
If you're going to ask a question, find the answer. Ask for the answer. If the answer doesn't come, put that question to the back of the queue or put it out for another time. Do not hold on to it.
A bit like I do with our questions for this circle.
That's right.
We have a saying, but what would you understand the saying as the milk of human kindness? What do you think that should mean to us?
Somebody answered that question for us, Neil?
No, I think Sarah was just joining us. She's just linking in.
Okay. You say the milk of human kindness.
Yeah, that's a phrase that we hear. I'd like to know what Spirit's view is. What should that mean? What does that refer to?
Well, milk is food. So human kindness should be a feast to be passed around. And there is plenty to go and plenty that is given. That is how I would deem the say.
I like that analogy because it's like saying, you know, kindness can be shared. It doesn't cost anyone anything. It's free and it's of benefit.
Couldn't have answered that any better myself, Neil.
Right, okay, lovely. Different sort of question. If we are all one in spirit, why are there different levels of development there?
It is all just down to experience. Yes, we are all one. Yes, we all share. But some of us have been around a little bit longer than others. But we do not necessarily it is the younger souls that we lay back about the levels or the realms. It is because how they see it. But they will be there. They can join. It is not like they are not allowed.
Do they show respect? Do the younger souls show respect for the older souls? Or is it like the human trait that when they are learning, it's not always there?
They can be like children, and especially if they've just come back.
Yeah.
They are still holding traits from their previous lives before they can fully release that coat of that life, as I would say it. Where you take your coat off.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay.
But yes, we say moving up, but it's not as a hierarchy quite like that. It is just
Is it having
back. We all
is it
mingle.
having a is it having a better learning to have a better understanding of more emotions?
Yes, because say the younger soul or the lesser experienced soul
Yeah.
can still join a more developed group, but then they might not understand what is going on as much as they will be taught and encouraged and brought into that teaching. But they might find it is just that little bit different, a bit like in your human lives, trying to an older life person to interact with the younger one. The energies are different.
Yeah.
The enthusiasms are different.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello. What name do you go by, please? Don't be shy.
They might be confused about which life to use their name.
Okay. Just help them as they needed to be helped, please. I'll carry on for the moment, Abraham. Why are humans allowed to believe they are here to control all other life forms on the planet? I'm not saying that's true, but it could be a belief, an arrogance.
This is exactly what it is. In spirit, we join with the humans to learn, engage, teach, grow ourselves. But we are there to live together with the planet. But as times pass, people are getting more materialistic. This is where it's going wrong. But things will change soon.
In my current lifetime, I suspect not, but you'll know more than I do.
It will take a while, but
Yeah.
people are becoming closer to the earth again. More than has been in the past.
Yeah, I do sense that, I must admit that. So. I feel hopeful for that anyway.
Hope is a good way to live.
Yeah. Another form for maybe a positive thinking. I don't know. There's some of the faults with humans down to the situation where, let's say, personal ego has got out of control.
Yes, is the answer. I can't really expand on that one.
Okay, fine. Yeah, it's just that I've lived through a time where competitiveness has become more of the norm than it should be, in my opinion. I'd like to see it revert back.
I think we're going through a stage of younger souls on the planet in more slightly I shouldn't say this, but there are younger souls in positions of influence that have not had the experience really to be in those, and they're influencing those younger without the experience and knowledge to deal with the outcomes that happen.
Well, to be honest, as you know, as you follow us, that's one of the suggestions about the latest conflict, that it's being controlled by more than one younger soul. Let's just say on both sides, all sides. That it's
There are
not
some
being
older souls that have been called to come and balance the
Good,
earth again.
good, good. That is really good to hear.
As guides, we can only do so much, but sometimes we need to come back and live the life.
I mean, we have a saying where we say horses for courses, and that's an argument for it, isn't it? Come back,
Yes.
get in and among, and get in a position of influence, and then change attitudes. So good. What do spirit animals actually learn from their lives, as a physical being on a planet? What do they actually learn rather than just existing?
They learn. See, as a human, you all see animals, especially the domesticated ones, as similar, but they are not. But if you get into the wild, there is more going on than you see. The animals and their spirits do not see the same. They do not communicate the same. So they will move from animal to animal to experience the communications and the different vibrations of which they also run upon.
Okay.
And because
Name
a lot,
is Bertie.
Could you repeat that, please?
My name is Bertie.
Bertie, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to say on that question, Bertie?
Lost at this moment.
Okay. It's perfectly fine. Lovely for you to join us. Thank you for coming. Abraham, going back to animals then, would that suggest that, I don't know, if someone had a life as an antelope and was preyed upon by one of a lion, say, but at some stage they may choose to come back as a lion to understand the difference in that animal species?
yes, they could, but they might also
Right.
come back as a zebra to see the difference so they still might be preyed upon.
Yeah.
But to see what the difference is in how they would have to react and live that life differently again.
I suppose in many ways that's a similar comparison to, human life. Sometimes you might have a life where you were so poor, lived in squalor, and you decide you want to come back and experience the other side of a life where you had a rich life.
Yes, it is very much the same. They run along the same path.
Yeah, yeah.
There are not great differences, other than the fact that an animal's life is usually a lot shorter. You can learn
Yeah.
a lot.
But what do animals learn about taking another animal's life?
As the animal, it is just their way.
Okay.
Just like a human, it is the human way. But it is only when you get back to spirit that you can appreciate what you've just learned
Okay.
or experienced. If you are lucky enough, your soul, your spirit, whilst living in the human life, may be able to share with you some of its previous lives and experiences. So you get to know in part before you get back to spirit.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, because I've actually done that with some friends, that have explored those situations in their mind. And as an observer, I suppose, that's all I can say. I've seen that having a life where there's so much material benefit and wealth doesn't necessarily mean those people haven't had problems in their lives. They've been different problems.
Yes.
But not everyone sees that.
No,
Not
a
everybody
different
sees
solution.
that. Yeah. It doesn't mean everything is better just because they've got more money.
No.
But as I've said, not everybody sees that because they don't often come close to it. So but it's an interesting thought process. Okay. Can you explain why so many humans seem to get so much enjoyment in watching people fight in some form or fashion? It's a bit like the modern version of a gladiator. It does seem to have a big following.
It is part of how the humans originally were, you would say these days, programmed.
Yeah.
They weren't programmed to fight each other, but they were programmed to survive. But it is a basic instinct that is still within you and will always be within you.
Is it filling a need, but it helps avoid so many other humans actually take up fighting?
Yes, I think it does, Neil.
Okay. Again, I'm going back.
While it is being held as in sport or
Yeah.
sportsmanship like,
Yeah, that's what I
people
mean.
can get that feeling without doing it themselves, or
Yeah.
it's spilling onto the streets unnecessarily.
I mean, I suppose you could look back through history and say, you know, when the Romans created the gladiators and the arenas, it distracted the population from rebelling against whoever was in charge.
Yes, it was a good thought in those days.
Okay.
Move things a lot along. Be better to be peaceful, but again, there has to be opposites. Otherwise, you cannot learn.
Okay. I sort of understand that in a way, what it
You learn
actually
your
achieves.
limits, you learn your strengths,
Yeah.
weaknesses. It is all a part of it.
Can I just ask Bertie a question if he wants me to? Are you still with us, Bertie? I'll assume you're not, and you just want to carry on observing. Okay. Abraham, can I change tack to something we started last week? If I just mention a word, are you happy to then just give us
My opinion?
the meaning that you see attached to that word and philosophy or whatever? Just feel free, or tell us what you think we need to hear. Okay. Darkness. What would you say about darkness? What needs to be said about darkness?
It is shade. It is cool. There's nothing to be afraid of.
So there's nothing evil about it.
Not in spirit. There may be in.
I like the way you've batted that back to human life. Yeah. What about winning? What do you have to say about winning?
Winning. It shows achievement in something that you wanted. It is good to get to the top of what you how can I put this? It is good to have competition, but it is good to have the goal. So to see yourself winning makes you happy and will also set you in mind to try something new.
Okay. But conversely, what would you say about losing?
Losing is not losing, really. I would see losing as please try again. Go back, find a different route, and come back forward. Don't be disheartened because you didn't get to your goal. It just didn't work that time. Try again. It can be a lot more sometimes gained by not achieving than actually gaining that win.
Yeah, but if you lose too many times, how do you get your self-belief back?
Find something different and do not keep trying the same thing. It was not meant for you.
Good point, good point. What would you describe as being worthwhile?
Anything is worthwhile as long as it doesn't affect somebody else or something else negatively. Having a party or sitting quietly, complete opposites, but both worthwhile.
Okay. So does that suggest that it's never a waste of time?
Definitely not. If you do not try, you do not know.
Okay. I'm going to group a few words together now. Nuclear power and nuclear war. What needs to be said about that?
Nuclear power was an advancement for the human race that seems to have come to a stop, gone in a direction of nuclear war. Luckily, this never went any further than where it went all those years ago, but still remains a threat. They need to look into the nuclear power and find that missing link that can make it cleaner and give the free energy. Nuclear war is a terrible thing.
Is it likely?
Anything can be likely, but not for the foreseeable future.
Good, thank you. That's reassuring, thank you. What do you need to say about young souls? I know we touched on it a little bit earlier, but excuse me, what do we need to look out for, or what can we do to help?
As a human, that not maybe, how can I put this without sounding wrong? If you're living your lives and you're not maybe into spiritualism, you're not going to necessarily be able to spot a young soul. Those of you that are believers and have the gifts that you can use, those all have gifts, but those that can use them may be able to spot a young soul. All you can do is encourage and show them the way. The rest is for us to deal with.
Okay,
It is for us to maybe redirect that soul and some different training before sending them down to the earth or other planets.
So when you decide to send young souls down to the earth for a physical life, do you take a gamble? You know that they're at the right point of incarnating.
Yes, you would call it a gamble. We call it just to show trust. Some humans would make others earn their trust and respect.
Yeah.
Others give trust and respect. In spirit, we give the trust and respect and hope that it is kept.
When that young soul doesn't keep the respect, what powers do you have to get them back on track?
There are special teams. Elders get involved to see what went wrong. You would call it like a download. They have different ways they can understand better than maybe some of us others. It is for them to put into practice what they have learned and pass it on to us to help our roles and what to do.
So in terms of the young souls that, I've been told are involved with the latest conflict, are those special teams actually attempting to overcome that situation?
Yes. It is indirectly done, but yes.
Okay. Are there ever any situations in that scenario where it may have been decided to let that run full course because of changes in direction of what spirit wants us to do?
That life is still having, or that soul or spirit is still within that life, and that life has its own choices. But if it is come to the detriment of many others, then we will step in.
I'm glad you said that, because that was going to be my next point, that if that soul steps out of line so much it's affecting so many other souls, there has to be a mechanism that says enough is enough, and it needs handling, let's just say.
There are other forces as well that watch.
Okay. I appreciate your honesty. Thank you. What would you like to say about ignorance? Is that more human trait than anything else?
Yes, it is.
What causes it?
Small-mindedness from the individual.
Is it ever a form of selfishness?
You took the words right out of my mouth there, Neil.
Okay. Must be psychic, wasn't I?
I did not wish to say too much on the negative term, but
yeah.
Two wrongs make a right there, Neil.
Okay. I like that. Okay. Anything you would particularly like to tell us about life in spirit, please, that would motivate as many people that might watch this recording?
To motivate. If I say
Or get
too
them
much one way,
interested.
nobody will want to go back. You get to be with all those that you've been with before, that you do not remember. You get to be with those in all the lives you've been with before. Maybe not all the time. You can learn different things, be in different places. In a human's life, you say the world is your oyster. That we have the universe and time is no limit. Yes, there are things in play, like there are rules, there are still learnings and teachings, but these are all pleasure. They can be tough at times, but they're as tough as you make them.
Would you describe them as purposeful?
Without a doubt.
Good.
You can pick those to help you on your journeys. You can be called to ask from people, through other spirits that you may not know necessarily that well. So you get to make more connections. There are some disadvantages to living in a physical life, especially if you live somewhere where you've had good food or you do not smell. You only have the memories of things that smell. The same with touch.
In the main, what do you miss in your spirit life? Is there anything you actually miss?
The physical touch.
Okay.
As much as you have the energies to connect. Like when you feel these energies, if you are lucky enough in your earth life to feel the goosebumps, the shivers, when you're close with people, that's a small snippet of how it feels in spirit.
Okay.
But to have the hug, that feeling of a hug, or a kiss, or to hear a bird song in the flesh, the smell of the sea and the flowers.
Can't you recreate all those in spirit yourself?
Yes, we can, but it is never the same.
Okay.
There is programs on your TVs where they have what they call replicators. That would be a good comparison. I think it is it Star Trek?
Yeah.
They call up their food.
Yeah.
But
There's been various science fiction programs films like that. Yeah.
That is quite close to how it would probably feel.
Okay.
Yes, you can think you're eating it, but you're not actually eating it or smelling it or breathing it.
Yeah. So in those sorts of films then, is that a way that spirit have released some of the concepts to actually encourage some people to open their minds to those sorts of those emotions and reactions?
Yes, definitely.
You know, I've always seen that as a mechanism for information being released at its time. Sometimes it's come too early, so that it's just described as fanciful. But I think I'm living now in a world where a lot more people are open to consider. I'm not saying accept, but just to consider.
Yes, it was spirit that brought this to those writers.
So it was a tactic that was used, obviously, to educate, really. Good.
The same with songwriting.
Yeah. I mean, music probably has more influence on the minds of people than even films, but and the words that are written within the music.
Music is a great thing.
Yeah. As an observer, then, what would you say about the word watching?
Watching what, Neil?
Watching what you choose to observe.
I was about to say watching is another verb, but another meaning of observing.
Yeah. But what's good about observing? And is there
Yeah.
anything bad about observing?
If you observe too much, nothing gets done. But to watch or observe and then learn and
So
learn.
is a conclusion of watching to react at some point?
Yes.
Okay. How should we make choices? What's your advice?
Do not give yourself too many choices. Think first, but not for too long. And go with the thought that makes you happy. Use your instinct to make the choice.
If we don't make a choice at an appropriate time, do we get a chance to have that choice again, or have we lost that?
If it is meant to be, it will come back to you.
Okay. We have a saying, back to the drawing board. What's that for when we get ourselves into that position?
This is a bit like the overwhelming thing, when you have lots of questions, but no answers.
Yeah.
You could say go back to the drawing board, back to the beginning.
So is it like a reset? Is it like it's meant to be a reset?
Yes, just so that if you don't go back to the beginning
Yeah.
and maybe take a different path to what you thought of earlier.
Yeah.
If it didn't
So
work
it's
the
not a
first
negative.
time,
Yeah, it's not a negative. It's actually a positive, giving you another opportunity.
yes, because you would have gone to the beginning, gone in one direction, and it didn't work. But if you remember the two options you had at the beginning,
Yeah.
you would go for the other one.
Okay.
That one that didn't come to the conclusion you wish for would have just been a learning curve.
I'm in tune with that because I'm always accused of being too positive, but I don't think you can be too positive. So, but quite a few people don't see it that way.
You can never be too positive. It is just at the point that they are at that
Yeah.
they see too much negativity. It is maybe not their fault that that's happened, but it is just the mindset. It only takes one positive thought or one neutral thought to stop a negative thought. If you keep doing that on a regular basis, the negative thoughts will stop.
When should we kick things into touch?
When it gets frustrating, if you start to get frustrated, it is time to leave that and move on.
But aren't there some times where you can give in too early?
This is true.
It's how you get the happy balance.
But you
That's
wouldn't kick
probably
it into touch after the first time of trying.
No.
If you do, you need to be asking for help and assistance.
Thank you for saying that. I directed that at someone I hope will listen and learn. What do you want to say about greed?
That there is too much of it. People need to share it out more. You come in the world with nothing, you go with nothing. Hoarding it and storing it. Still taking more when you've got more than most. People need to share. The world would be a better place.
Are enough human souls going to actually achieve that at some point?
That little word of hope. We hope.
There's so much riding on the word hope, so much.
There will be a point that civilization will realize this.
Yeah. I think we've been advised, told that before, but the way life is at the minute, it's very hard to actually imagine it actually happening.
I have no advice for how to get over it, but something will happen.
Okay, thank you. What would you say about the word belief? What does that mean? What should it mean? And is it interpreted as people need to interpret it?
I think people need to interpret it as on an individual basis. have belief in themselves and believe what they want to believe. Belief should never be pushed upon anybody else. I could say more, but I think the basics of it is make sure you just believe yourself. Have your own beliefs. Share your beliefs or your knowledge, but never push it on anybody.
A very famous question of mine, but what would you say about flies? Trying to lighten the conversation.
We still laugh about this, Neil.
So do I. I don't even know where the question came from in the first place. So.
There are too many here trying to answer with different questions, or different answers for you. What do we say about flies? So many things to say about flies. I would say we'll say buzz off to the fly for now.
Good one. I'll take that. This is going to be a running gag, I think, forever and ever and ever. Okay. Go back to a question. How does spirit know what will happen in the future if it hasn't happened yet? Or is your any statement given based on what spirit hopes to evolve?
We know and see much in spirit, but we can't always relay details.
Okay.
It's
Is
like
that
doing
because
a
there's
top
got to be a
secret.
Is
like
that
doing a
because
top-
there's got to be a natural development from humans who, have a say in whether to go in that direction or not?
Yes, there has to be a natural progression. We definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe with some help, but normally we watch.
But you do interfere, don't you, when you need to?
Yes. Yes, we do.
Okay, whatever you do, don't stop doing that, please. How would you trip the light fantastic in spirit, What do you actually like doing?
There are many things that we all have individual likes. Me personally, you would say travel.
Travel where?
I like to travel across the universe.
Okay.
I like to travel to those that I help. I do this because I like the diversity of it.
So when I've had a message from my wife, who's, you know, is in spirit, or my human wife, that she wants me to get traveling again because she wants to travel with me. Does that mean she will actually do that?
Yes, she likes to feel the emotion,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
happiness, the joy. She likes to connect with you to make sure that you're fulfilling your life and to be with you as well.
I mean, at times it could be fanciful because it's what I want to hear, but I'm just using this conversation. And maybe I'm supposed to look for reassurance, although I don't totally need it because I know I feel present. So.
This is also another way for her to learn.
Yeah.
See, I travel to this group, so I'm still traveling.
Are you traveling and here at the same time?
Not this evening.
Okay,
I am fully here with the group.
okay. Are you one of our members' guides? Put it like that, or
Yes.
teacher? Oh, you are. Okay.
Depends on what sort of guide you wish to know, but yes, we are
Yeah.
guides.
Okay. When we need to, how can we get our sense of humour back? You know, when life gets too serious for us, how do we get our sense of humour back?
There are many ways to answer this. To calm the mind at first, as much as you can laugh when you are feeling down. If you can calm the mind, the joy will follow.
Yeah.
But the true joy, not of the moment, the joy of the belly rumble, as I used to call it. We used to laugh that hard, your belly rumbled,
Yeah,
and you
absolutely.
cried, and you felt the emotion all the way through. I think it is time for me to leave, Neil.
Okay, Abraham, thank you so much for coming through. It's lovely to talk with you again.
I hope
And
that some of the others.
I know you speak on behalf of everyone because I do understand that. So thank you to everyone. Thank you for spending time with us. I know there's not time in spirit, but there is here. So
We enjoy it. It
and
is
so
a
do
lesson
we.
and a
Yeah.
connection that we all enjoy together.
Okay.
Thank you for all that you do. And thank you to the rest of the group that brings their energies and their love to one another.
Yeah. And you know, I enjoy the connection with spirit, and I enjoy the connection with this circle of mediums. So
I
it's a
must say
wonderful
that
feeling.
the group has a unique light that it shines.
We've all recognized that, I think. We don't know why, but somehow we've all ended up in the same place, connecting in the way we do. So
Even when
it's
one of
very
you have had a bad day, that when you blend, it is never shared in that way. It is always dispersed.
yeah. Thank you for recognizing that. That's great to hear.
Thank you, and we will meet again.
Yeah, hopefully we will. Take care.
God be with you all.
Bye. Safe journeys on your travels. Time for us now to finish today's question and answer session. We would like to thank Spirit for being here to guide us and working directly with us as you have done tonight. That includes all our personal guides and all the additional advisors and elders that have joined us here today to help give us the benefit of their wisdom through the chosen spokesman. Thank you so much for your continued support, which we all fully appreciate and value. We do look forward to meeting up with you again next time. Before we close the link, we hope you don't mind us spending a few minutes of our time exploring our personal direct links with Spirit. 2 to 3 minutes until I call you back into the room, everybody. Time now to refocus on your crown chakras, please. And as and when you have the opportunity, close it down to break your link with Spirit. Move any residual energy you don't need down from your crown chakra to your brow chakra, onto your throat chakra, and then to your heart chakra. Take it further down to your solar plexus chakra and onto your sacral chakra, and then to your root chakra. Allow the surplus energy to move down through your legs and body to your feet. And ground yourself on Mother Earth, please. When you're sufficiently grounded, and in your own time, gently and slowly bring your attention back into the room.